8D.2. The following recurrence relation can be used to model the flat rate of depreciation of a set of office furniture. V0 is equal to 18,000. Vn plus 1 is equal to Vn minus 900. What is the initial value of the furniture? By how much does the furniture decrease in value each year? It says there by how much, so this is an actual value here. So V0 is equal to the initial value. So that's by $18,000. And then the amount that we're decreasing by is equal to 900. Again, if that was a different question where it asked you for the rate, then you would need to use that solve function. Write down the rule for Vn, the value of the investment after n years. So again, our V0 is equal to 18,000. And the rule will look like Vn is equal to 18,000 minus, and we're losing $900 each time, and times it by the number of, I'm guessing it's going to be years here, each year. Use a rule to find the value of the investment after 4 years. So this means I now need to replace the letter N with a 4. So 18,000 take away 900 times 4 is equal to 14,400. How long does it take for the furniture's value to decrease to 0? So the word is how long. Now, unlike the previous question, which said you must use a rule to determine this, this is just asking you for how long. So I would use the sequences option on the CAS. As you can see, I've just put in the recurrence relation here into the CAS calculator, and I've put the starting value. And what I've done here is I've just made the list. And what I'm doing is I'm just finding when it equals 0. So I've gone too far, that's the minuses, so there we go. So how long does it take? It will take 20 installments, which would be 20 years later. Now theoretically you could also do the exact same thing using the solve function previously, but if you don't have to, then don't. A photocopier in the office costs $6,000 when new. Its value depreciates at the flat rate of 17.5% of its new value each year. What is the value after 4 years? So we need to go and establish the D value here, which has an interest rate of 17.5. We divide that by 100. We'll times it by the principal value, which is 6,000. And then what that is equal to is 1,050. So then all we need to do is we need to go and use a rule or establish a rule and then go and solve accordingly. So the rule will be Vn is equal to 6,000 minus n times d. We have established that d here is 1,050 and then n is the number of years. I'm going to let n equals 4 because we want this after 4 years. And so this will be equal to 6,000, take away 1,050 times by 4, which will be equal to $1,800. 8D.3. A hairdryer in a salon was purchased for $850. The value of the hairdryer depreciates by 25 cents for every hour that it's in use. Write down a rule to find Vn, the value of the hairdryer after n hours of use. Well, actually, I've already done that there. We see that V0 is 850. Vn is equal to V0, take away 0.25 n. So where did I get that 0.25 from? Well, it says 25 cents there. So I've just turned that into dollars just to keep everything consistent. What is the value of the hairdryer after 50 hours of use? This is when we need to go and substitute. So n here is equal to 50. So Vn is equal to 850 minus 0.25 times by 50. And this will be equal to $837.50. On average, the salon will use the hairdryer for 17 hours each week. How many weeks will it take for the value of the hairdryer to halve. Okay, so first of all, we should find out what that value is. What is half? So if the initial is equal to 850, half of that is equal to 850 divided by 2, which equals to $425. So what we'll need to do is we need to go and find out at what point this will be equal to $425. So again, we can use our sequences option in the CAS to sort this one out. So you'll see here, I've entered this into my calculator. So I've made AN minus 0.25. That will take off 25 cents each time. 25 cents is a small number, so I'm actually going to increase my limits as to how long this list goes for. You'll see there I've got there goes for 100 times. I might actually just make that a little bit bigger. I might make that 2,000. So this is, again, this is dropping by 25 cents each use. So that one here represents the first use. How much is it being used by? The 2 here is the second use. So if I scroll down, as you can see, it's a huge, huge, huge. We want 425. So we're getting closer. Again, we'll just make this a little bit, oh, it's gone too far. 26, 425, there it is. So after 1,700 uses, so after 1,700 uses, this will be equal to 425. Now it says there on average it uses, the hair dryer is used for 17 hours a week. So, and I think that's what this is going by 25. Oh yeah, it is 25 cents for every hour. So let's just say 17 uses per week. So therefore, now it's being used 17 hours per week. We've established that, and I'll stop using the word uses, I'll say hours. So we established here that it needs to have 1,700 hours in order for it to be worth 425. So 1,700 hours divided by 17 hours per week will tell us how many weeks, and that will be 100 weeks. You don't need to turn that into months or anything like that. It's asked for weeks. We keep it in weeks.